Ahoy there, matey. Why don't you come on over? Drop anchor here by the fire. Let old Captain Fumble spin you a yarn to mystify even the most hardened of pirates. The tale, I discovered, the long sought after ice region. Now, this tale be starting aboard me vessel, the Fumbled.
Hey, pirate! I need your help with something. Quietly.
Plunder. If you'll excuse me for a moment. Lorena, would you mind being a good lass and telling me just exactly what the hell it is you want?
Madame Olivia is looking for pirates to help her with a problem. But she wants to keep things private. She represents the Order of Souls at Plunder Outpost. If you can pay her a visit without drawing attention, I'm sure she'll be grateful.
Oh, Madame Olivia, right. I'll be, right over. One day I'll be asking her to pay me back for all these favors. And she won't be liking what I ask her to do. I arrived at Plunder Outpost round nightfall, which I suppose were good for keeping things discreet. And you can mark me certain Olivia were glad for the scene to be set so well. Make no mistake, the Order of Souls were about tricksters and theatrics, much as they were about any true sorcery. Now I let myself into her tent, or whatever you call their little hovel below the Emporium, only to find myself pleasantly surprised by the sort of company she kept. Olivia, no, don't be telling me the sweet little Tasha back there. Oh, still hoping to be a pirate one day, I expect.
Another guest. I wish that I could welcome you under more auspicious circumstances. As you can see, I already have company, for Tasha has confided in me her most vexing problem. It's all right. You must show them the truth.
I don't know how it happened, but it's getting worse.
Oh, what's getting worse, Tasha? The feeling of your dreams crumbling down around ye?
An insidious skeleton curse. Even in death, Captain Briggsy's recklessness endangers others. Those foolhardy adventures she bequeathed you.
Briggsy wouldn't. She was always kind to me. She wanted to help me be a pirate.
Oh, really now? And how exactly do that one be going for you, Crossbones?
And yet she too succumbed to the same curse before ever finding the cure she sought. Still, her quest gives us hope. Do you have the book?
Years ago, Briggsy left me a treasure hunt. Lots of trinkets and knickknacks to find. It's all in here.
Briggsy's memories may hold the key to curing Tasha, but her skull has been drained of its knowledge. Using her belongings, however, I may yet be able to glean some insight.
Right. So what? You need me to do a scavenger hunt meant for a literal child?
Tasha is in no condition to make the journey. You must complete this treasure hunt on her behalf. But knowing Briggsy, this will be no simple game. I urge you to be cautious, and wish you luck.
Oh, all right. Come the next morning, I were all set with me orders, ready to hunt down Captain Briggsy's greatest treasure. You know, looking at what I were given, I've half a mind to say Briggsy wanted Tasha lost at sea. This compass don't have no directions on it, and it don't even seem to be pointing north. Well, at least I have this old journal. Uh-huh. Alright. I have not a clue what any of this means. Alright, you know what? I'll just follow the compass. See where that gets me. It don't be much of a plan, but it'd be the start of one. My first destination, according to Tasha's old trinket, were Shipwreck Bay. Now, I weren't entirely certain just what I were looking for, but, well, if I had to take a guess, I'd say it looked an awful lot like that. Now, the outfits were worn and faded with time, but the hat and the mask were as gaudy as ever. This were old Briggsy's doing, no doubt about it, meaning I were on the right path. I won't pretend that fighting a skeleton captain be any sort of challenge, even one working for the accursed rogue. You get more fighting back from sparring with one of them palm trees. Needless to say, this bag of bones were more than happy to prove me point. Once I'd scuppered them, I took a note of what were left behind. A skull, a key, and a page of Briggsy's journal. No doubt this'll make them pages of nonsense more palatable. I brought the ship in close to the shore as I could manage with these rocks in my path, using the harpoon to grab me loot. It took a few tries, but I got it all in the end. As soon as it were all aboard, I turned on out of there and set off towards my next destination. Or, more specifically, the unmarked island at K9, which I be calling Dog Island, on account of the dog that be living there. Oh, he's such a good boy. Ah, come on, how can you not love that little face? You know, I met Captain Briggsy once. I mean, it were after she became one of them skeleton lords, but it were still her. I'm pretty sure she had a thing for me. Shame I had to kill her. Now, once the second captain were dead like the thirst, I grabbed the notes he were carrying, and his key, and his skull, and I went off for the next one. Now, I'll be honest with ye, I were just a tad nervous as I were on approach to the next island. After all, most pirates tend not to take too kindly to other crews in the same place as themselves. Now, I didn't see anyone aboard their ship, and judging from the lack of oncoming fire, I felt confident in assuming that they hadn't noticed me either. So, I figured that long as I were quick about it, I could just pop in, do what I needed to do, and be out before we ever crossed paths. Worst comes to worst, they'd surely be dissuaded from attacking once they felt the bite of me steel. But, thankfully, it never quite came to that. The skeletons I were after showed themselves and died without drawing us any attention. You know, I've been thinking about it, and, how long have these skeletons actually been here? I mean, Briggsy set all this up back before she were cursed, right? And Tasha were just a child back then, weren't she? How old is she now? And how have we just missed these things all this time? I don't get it. Well, them's were questions for another day. As I went to my ship to harpoon the loot, I saw something barreling down towards me. A bear's talk rental sloop. Now, I were sure I could take 'em, but I were worried a fight would stir the other crew to attack as well. And much as I'd love to come out atop a 3-ship battle, I'd much prefer finishing me job and hitting the tavern. Lucky for me, it seemed that her crew were of a similar disposition. They turned away, leaving me to collect me things in peace. But I weren't about to stay any longer than I needed to regardless. Now that I'd collected all the notes, I had all I were needing to make sense of Briggsy's ramblings. According to the journal, my first stop were Crooked Masts. Now, Briggsy's note were saying something about the oldest spot on the island. Well, I assume it were one of the pictures she drew. Me bet be the cave painting. That rock wall it's on been there longer than anything else, I'd wager. Ha! Pirate and intuition strikes again. I brought Briggsy's chest of history back to me ship before taking a look at the next clue, which, we're just a wee bit esoteric. I mean, I understand what you're going for with the dice thing. I really do, but what sort of actual madwoman sets it up like... Right, Briggsy. Well, an insane way to make a map it may be, but it were certainly clever. The instructions led me to Dry Rock Isle to dig up Briggsy's next chest. After fighting off a few insufferable spirits, of course. Yeah, that looks about right. Well, that be about 2 for 3. All that were left were to head to Kraken's Fall for the last of 'em. Now, this one seemed about as simple as any riddle map, and it were already written down to boot. So long as I don't be needing any, enormous bird statues, I should be in the clear. Now then, let's see here. Kraken's skull, impaled like a figurehead. Ah, aye, that be it. Now, just what be that... Oi! Avast there, you scurvy wretch! Do you mind? Serves you right, you blasted cur. Now, back to what I were actually doing here. Alright, that were the last of Briggsy's chests. All 3 collected without incident. All that were left were to unlock 'em and return to Plunder Outpost to hand 'em off to Olivia. Now, I did have a couple of chests full of skulls to turn in, but me main concern were the trinkets she sent me after for poor little Tasha. I handed them all over to Olivia so she could perform her little ritual.
It is hard to say if all you have brought me will prove sufficient. What you are about to witness is by no means an exact art. However, the book's pages harbor no more secrets, so I believe it is time to begin. ritual is complete, but it will take time for order to emerge from the chaos of recollection. For now, we have done all that we can, and I am truly grateful for your aid.
That makes 2 of us. Maybe I won't end up a bag of bones after all. But what am I supposed to do now?
You have the hardest task of all, Tasha. You must be patient, and trust that Briggsy will be kind to you one last time.
I'll rest for a while, then head back to my tavern. Maybe mopping up spilled grog will keep my mind off things.
For Tasha's sake, I would request that you speak to no one of what you witnessed here. Once Briggsy's memories are revealed, for good or ill, I shall call upon you again.
Well, that were disappointing. All that work for such nothing. I need a drink. Well, I know just where to be going for one. That be right. New Golden Sands Port. I fought to help save the place, you know. Well, I say fought, more, smuggled 100 or 2 cases of rum to me buddy Marek. Well, I still did me part. And that brings us to now. So, you might be wondering why I told you all of this when Olivia asked me specifically not to. Well, in truth, it be spite. I were interrupted as I were about to tell a much better story, just to be told to sit around and wait by the end of it. Ridiculous. But speaking of better stories, tell me, how would you like to hear the tale of how I discovered the Ice Region?